President Moore.
Here, and I think with the date and what we've all been through in the world, we could do another pledge of allegiance. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll do it. We'll do it. Yeah. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, Patrick, you gotta have somebody like Dan. Have a little more success. Yes. Oh. I can tell you.
And we will be moving on to item 3 on the agenda, staff. Do we have any online public comments at this time? If not, we see none. We can move on to item number 4. Is that correct?
Yep.
No public comment. Consent calendar, please.
I'll make a motion that we approve the consent calendar, accepting Director Fieldman's review of the financials. Thank you, Bob.
Yeah, I reviewed them and they were all in order.
Second.
All right, we have a motion been moved and seconded for the consent calendar. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Ordered.
Roll
Call.
Oh, I'm sorry, roll call, yeah.
Director Coverdale,
Yes, of course.
Director Feldman,
Yes.
Director Reynolds,
Yep.
Vice President Michaelson,
Yes.
President Moore.
Aye. Thank you. And now, meetings attended by directors or any comments, item 5. I will tell you, and I want to thank our staff so much for the work we put on for our Region 5 Aqua meeting, and Bob attended and sat in on it, and I was just so disappointed because it was so zoomed. It just broke our heart because we had little artifacts we wanted to show them, and we had gift bags to give to the attendees. So there was a couple there. But I think more important, and the library and the city did a wonderful job setting it all up for us. So thank you, Halfmoon Bay City, for providing that wonderful facility. So it taught me never to offer again for now off the record, because I was really hoping we could host different people throughout the state of our beautiful coast. And plus, I tried to encourage them to come because I said, hey, we didn't have to have the air conditioner on. It was on, thank God. So thank you, staff, Lisa, Mary, and James, and everybody that helped us on that. So we will move on. That was my one meeting. I wanted to make sure we thanked everybody that got involved. And we did have some extra gift bags, and I gave them to Mary, so she was able to take them to Rotary. All righty, so anybody else attend other than Bob?
That was good.
Thank you.
I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah. And so now we will move on to general business and item number 6, please.
Let's go present.
All right.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How's it going?
Pretty good. Nunes Water Treatment Plant. Long ago, we used fluorine gas there. Then we went to 12.5% sodium hypochlorite that is delivered. That was problematic because, as Glenn will probably share with you, it degasses and then the pumps lock up and you can't get chlorine moving. So now, 11 years ago, we are making our own bleach with a sodium hypochlorite generator by the brand is Microchlor, PSI Microchlor. Staff's been really pleased with it. The shop's over in Milpitas. You can go get parts over the factory. We also buy mixers from them. Their service has been really good. So the unit at 100 pounds per day of chlorine is 11 years old. It's over 100,000 hours of runtime. It's time to be retired, start working on it. I think we can just piecemeal kind of fix it, but we won't have a redundant unit, so we're not in a panic if it fails on us. The redundant unit that we want to buy is a PSI Microchlor. It's now Clean Water 1 is the new name of the company. So it's the same brand. So this unit that we want to stick next to the existing unit is going to be an exact replica mirror image So if we have one spare part for one unit, it's going to work in both units. I think that plan of streamlining and having the same equipment next to each other makes a lot of sense. The operations staff, the treatment plants are very excited about it. And in order to not do a competitive bid process, we're going to need to ask you to waive the district's procedural requirements for sealed competitive bids, because Clean Water One is the sole vendor of these units. I could get other quotes, but they're going to start with Clean Water One's quote. And then the price is going to go up. So it doesn't really make much sense. Much like with pump repair service, they're the sole rep for Flowway, and other people have to buy from Pump Repair. So as I was writing this staff report, I was thinking, how can I reassure the board that we're getting good pricing? So I called Ethan and talked to him. He's the sales rep there. And he shared about 5 recent POs, and we're getting a better price than all 5 of those that went out to bid. So I'm reassured, and I want to reassure you guys that just because we're going to PSI Microcore to buy their equipment, they're not going to elevate their price and jeopardize their longstanding relationship with the district. So we would like to buy the equipment and have a contractor put it in. We want to save the money on the markup. So it's going to save us about 40 grand by buying it. We've had such good luck with the equipment. I'm not worried about any problem. Once it's installed, they'll take care of us if there is any problem with the equipment. So we're looking for approval to waive the competitive bidding requirements and also authorize the general manager to procure a 100-pound per day unit. It will be totally redundant at Nunes, and the price with tax is $179,793. And if I missed anything and you want to discuss it more, I can answer questions.
I think it's just important to remind the board that the alternatives are we truck in liquid chlorine, which has to be brought in on a special truck, transferred, which is moving a chemical it has hazards, there are accidents or spills. The other way we can do it is we can bring in gas chlorine, and gas is pretty concentrated, but it's a couple thousand PSI in the cylinders. If it leaks, we lose the high school. And so it's important to remember that if we were to be using one of the other methods, we'd be spending a lot of money on the mitigation and the processes for that. And so that helped me kind of feel like, 180 grand is fine, because the cost of the other ways of doing it, the double containment cylinders for the gas cylinders, those make these prices look very affordable. So making the chlorine gas on site is not all that common, and our team should get accolades for doing it for the reasons I've just outlined. So I would like to make a motion that let me read it, that we waive the competitive bidding requirements of resolution 2016-09, authorize the general manager to procure a 100-pound per day redundant on-site hyperchlorinator generator for Nunes water treatment plant from Clean Water One Inc., formerly PSI Microchlor, for a not to exceed amount of $179,793.
Yeah, I would second that. So we have a motion and second. Any further discussion?
I have a question. Right now, we have one,
We have one, yes.
it's been there for 11 years
High mileage.
by itself. I'm just asking.
Yep.
This is a redundant unit.
Yep.
There to help run things if the first one goes belly up. At some point, do we assume it goes belly up and is removed?
No, I think we can compartmentalize, rebuild it. The
Oh, you-
rectifier is a compartment.
You're planning to have two.
Yes,
Going
redundancy, if something
You're
happens.
assuming long-term redundancy.
It's
Yeah.
No, it's fine. I'm just asking.
to make treated water, part of the surface
Right.
water requirement is we must disinfect. It's
I
not
agree.
an option. So if that chlorination system breaks, we stop producing water. We have to issue a boil of
But
water.
you'll have two now. And
Exactly, it'll be low stress for staff. One has a hiccup, we turn it off, we fire the other one up. We can calmly work on it rather than, oh my gosh, let's get some bleach into the tank. And
So in a
dilute it.
sense, we've been lucky up
Yeah.
till now.
Yeah, and I also like to add on Glenn's comment, I know a lot of districts have gone to 12.5% bulk delivery chlorine.
Yeah.
And the prices, I don't even,
Yeah,
it's
no,
probably gone up 40% in the last couple of years. Like, they're regretting doing it. Like, oh my gosh, we didn't foresee this price increase.
Yeah.
And it's much safer.
It was a good strategy
Make it with salt.
previously. I'm just.
Yeah.
wanting to understand. Okay. Thank you.
Good questions.
How does the salt come?
in 45, 50 pound bags, maybe 60
Just in
pound
the
bags.
bag, so.
Yeah.
James canceled the gym workout
Yeah.
schedule for everybody and they get to schlep 40-pound bags.
Yes, we make a brine solution and then we zap the brine solution with electricity and it makes sodium hypochlorite.
So how many,
And it's not as strong as the 12.5%. I think it's like 0.8%. So if you get it on your skin, you're not screaming and worrying about washing it off. You'll wash it off, but you get it in your eyes, it stings a little bit. Doesn't ruin your clothes. 12.5% is a big deal.
I'm living in the Bay Area, how often do you read about, a leak at the Clorox plant? I mean, yeah, we're acutely aware of what chlorine leaks in there, but if that's 6 o'clock noon kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So how much do we buy at a time? I mean, ton wise, pellet wise, or,
I don't know off the top of my head.
but it must be a lot.
It is.
Okay.
But I can get you an answer to that.
No, but then,
I get a pallet a couple of pallets every couple of months. I guess.
Oh, it goes
We also use it at Denison.
it goes that far.
Yeah, so we also have a smaller hypochlorite generation unit at Denison. Same thing, we make it out of salt.
Okay, so it's not an entire truck, okay, not an entire truck, it's a few pellets. Okay.
Good. We have a motion and a second, and any further discussions other than, I would like to, thank James and Glenn for your professional expertise on giving us an explanation. It's not that simple to get that nice treated water to our customer base, and that's why we have such great professionals and staff and board members that are concerned about our future for water. I guess my only question with up on the hill, Nunes Steel, is that will be on site fairly soon. It's not a dragged out policy for receiving that once we make the motion to move forward.
I'm not sure what your question is.
He's asking about the delivery. It's
Yeah.
24 weeks.
24.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's engineering submittals, and then once we sign on, then we like all that, and it could be
6 months.
Yeah.
48 weeks.
Okay.
Well, it's better to get on more than that.
I think the most exciting part is by James looking at what's critical to our delivering potable, safe water
Mhm.
and having redundancy as part of its operational equipment means that there's a lower chance of our having an incident where we couldn't deliver water.
Wow.
And I feel really important that this 75 years of service doesn't mean on odd Tuesdays, the
Right.
water doesn't work. It means 24/7 to make water. And I think that it costs money, and I think it's what our constituents really want from us is reliability in that water. So I'm pretty excited about this.
Good. I thank you for that, and staff for your professionalism, giving us directions on to put this forward. And we have a motion and a second, and we'll have a roll call vote, please.
Director Coverdale,
Aye.
Director Feldman.
Yes.
Director Reynolds,
Yes.
Vice President Michelson.
Yes.
President Moore.
Aye, so ordered. Thank you for all of you for that. And Glenn, thank you for helping us out on the barnyard mentality when it comes to a treatment plant. Okay, so we got that completed, and now we will move on to item B. Believe it is here, Mary. Would you like to walk us through that, please?
So, the ballots for the Aqua Board elections must be cast by September 15th. So, Director Feldman is the board liaison for Aqua, and we'll be casting the votes. This item really is to discuss the selections and provide guidance. The first item on this agenda is to elect the positions of president and vice president for the 2024 and 2025 two-year term. Kathy Green is the only candidate running for president. Her resume is in the board packet. And then there are two candidates running for vice president, Ernie Avila and Michael Saunders. And I want to refresh your memory that at the May 2023 board meeting, the board passed a resolution supporting the nomination of Ernie Avila as a candidate for the position of VP. He currently serves on the Aqua Board, Region 5 board, and is the board president of Contra Costa Water District. So I'll stop there to see if there's any other, discussion on that point, or if you want to
And I will say, our recent Aqua 5 region meeting here at the library, he made an effort to be there. And he was there. And I go way back with him from regional board days, and I know he's very well qualified and very interested in giving his time to serve in that position. So personally, I would support Ernie.
Yeah, I'd second John.
Okay, thanks.
Comments. I met Ernie at the 3 and 5 and at the Aqua
Mhm.
meeting, and he's also pretty significant over there in Contra Costa. So,
Yeah.
and they have the same initials as the CCWD.
Yeah,
You know, right?
we tease
Costa
them
Water
about
District,
that.
the Coastside County Water District.
Yeah.
Well, it could be better than that. Kathy is vice president now of that, and she was also zoomed into Region 5, and we've seen her at the meetings, and not a choice, she's qualified, and I think that it's clear that she's good for the tab. Other than that, I'm not, I think they're both good candidates.
Well, Avila sure has the right last name if you agree on that.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing.
Well, I think, do we need a motion to?
It was just discussion.
Yeah, okay, cool.
There's a second item, and that is for the vote for the Region 5 board members, and which does include President Mueller. So the ballot is shown on Exhibit C in the packet, and there are two options. We can either vote for the nominating committee's recommendation slate, which or to choose individual candidates. So
Well, and when you have multiple people that are running for an office, and you happen to have one that you really want to support, it's often best to just vote for that one and not vote for the others, because it limits their number of votes and maximizes the number of votes for the person you support. So shall we just pick one?
No, there's 7 people.
Yeah,
You have to
you have to
vote for the
pick
slate.
7.
Yeah, you gotta vote for the slate or pick people on the slate that you want. My recommendation is the nominating committee of ACMA, who built the slates, recommends a slate that you should just go with, or you have the individual board candidates, you can pick them separately.
Yeah,
I would just recommend we just do the slate that's been nominated.
Oh,
If
That's
fine.
easy.
That makes it a lot easier unless anybody has a problem. That would be Varela as board chair of the the chair of the thing, Sarah Palmer as vice chair. Ernest Laville, who we've talked about, Mary Bannister, John Muller, John Weed, and Floyd Wicks. The only difference between this and the prior Region 5 board is that John's replaced a prior member who's no longer on the board. So, and we know John as well. So I just say go with the nominating committee's recommendation. And, yes,
I'm in.
okay.
All right.
So is that your instruction, Mary? So you'll check the thing, then I'll sign it.
yes,
I'll have it ready for
you. Well,
This one is on paper. The other one I have to send in an email.
Yeah, the one you have to do for
I
the
did,
president, vice
I just send
president.
in my ballot.
Right.
Okay.
This one I'll check it off and have ready for you tomorrow.
Okay, fine, I'll just send the other one.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, we have the next item.
Yeah, the
Okay.
Aqua.
So in the last fiscal year, Aqua created a new 501c3 entity, the Aqua Foundation, with the mission to service all Californians by advancing diversity, equity, and inclusion within the water industry through education, research, and workforce development. So at the recent Aqua conferences, the formation of this foundation has been really front and center. And by Aqua leadership, and Aqua recognizes the need to develop the next generation of water leaders. And the foundation will provide scholarships, training, and mentorship. So Aqua leadership has also encouraged all member agencies to contribute to this effort. So we're recommending $1,000 contribution to the Aqua Foundation as they pursue these efforts and scholarships.
Sure.
Yeah, just following up with General Manager's statement, every Aqua meeting we've been going to, we're all looking for the future of this DEI program, which is to develop future staff members for the water and wastewater industry. So I strongly encourage us all to show our support to this 501(c)(3) thing, and because we're all going to be facing retirements, and look around the board, we'll be looking for that here too, probably one of these days. So let's see how much gray hair sticks around. And so anyhow, ask for a motion, please, on that item.
I move we contribute $1,000 to the improvement of staff and diversity of the staff. You want me to read it exactly?
Yes.
The recommendation.
Oh, I can do it for you if you'd like.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Authorize general managers to contribute $1,000 to the Aqua Foundation to advance the education and development of future water leaders.
I'll second
I'm
that.
gonna call on you constantly. That was fantastic.
Thank you. It's been moved.
No,
Second.
Chris nailed it.
Okay.
Second.
All right.
Okay,
And then roll call vote, please, Mary.
Director Coverdale,
Yes.
Director Feldman.
Yes.
Director Reynolds.
Yes.
Vice President Michelson.
Yes.
President Morris.
Yes, thank you, board members and staff. I think this is a wise move to show California that little coastal commission area here, we're going to ensure future employees for all of us in the state. So
yeah,
thank you. So
we walk softly
So-
but carry a big step.
Has there been an update every month?
Huh?
This is update number 24. Has there?
24 times flies.
Yeah, I think it is.
Time flies when you have fun.
Wow. I would not have guessed. I would not have guessed.
Yeah.
It looked like you parked your pickup truck in the filter basin.
Lost my item here, excuse me.
That's all right.
Wants to be germinated.
There you go.
They're using that big hole to check the oil.
Yeah, there, yep, perfect.
Excuse me, I'm trying to be eco-friendly and be paperless, and I just lost my item.
I can give you my printout.
Can I borrow it?
Yeah.
Still save paper that way, Glenn, thank you. All right, great. Nunes, update number 24. Wish we were done, but we're not. We're just kind of getting to the final stages. Installation of filter for Santa Media happened last month. We disinfected the filter. We did some commission testing. Sid Basin knife gate was installed. We waited almost 2 years for that knife gate. We're very happy to see it. Caustic soda system, signed off by MISCO, Univar inspected the tank. We're good to go there. We're going to fill that up with caustic soda soon. Performance testing of the filter waste pump's been completed. And we are sending a commissioning plan from HDR to DDW to get approval for running filter 4. We ran it in kind of a filter to off-spec water mode. Sean and Todd are thrilled.
Oh,
They can't believe how well it's performed.
Good.
We've got deeper media beds. No one's gonna say no to that. We just gotta get DDW on board.
Yeah.
So we're real close to that, and hopefully by next week we'll have approval.
Who are they sending down?
Rory came and saw us,
Okay.
Rory Klinger. He recently did his sanitary engineering inspection of the whole system.
Yeah.
He was quite pleased. Shared that with Mary. He was really impressed in how together the treatment staff are, as well as the distribution people, and what we do with such a big area and small staff.
Good.
So I thought it went well. We haven't gotten the letter yet.
No.
So we'll see what happens with that. I don't foresee any disasters. But back to Nunes. Looking forward. The 3 we looked ahead, they've already started on filter 3. Plant Nunes is shut down right now due to some valve changeouts. We're deciding tomorrow if we're going to fire it up or not. When we work with the contractor has been quite flexible as well as us. So we've got a really good relationship there. But we are looking to get into filter 3. And Mary, do you mind, or I'm sorry, will you put up the pictures? I'll try to give you a tour through the pictures. So it's going to be filter 3, filter 2, filter 1. They're going to get better and quicker at what they're doing. And I think filter 3 through one is gonna be easier because it's got a simpler under drain, not as bad as filter 4. So upper left corner, you can see them shoveling around the media when they're loading filter 4. The next picture to the right with the water in the bottom, that's filter 4 with the anthracite in it after a backwash, because it looks like some of the dust is settled in the trough there. Third picture from the left on the top, that's a new saddle on a pipe that it's kind of popped open a few years ago, and it just wasn't something staff was going to handle. So we packaged that into the plant. So that's a nice improvement to fix that crack saddle. There's another one they're going to do over by the door here. This is top right corner. This is the ranger staff bringing in a check valve for the filter to waste system. Lower left corner is kind of dark, but that's the knife gate where we're going to connect it to the new sed basin. Next picture to the right on the bottom is ranger staff putting together the top end of the knife gate valve. Next picture to the right, them making adjustments to the hand wheel. And then on the lower right hand corner, we've been waiting a long time to be able to see this, but it is connected and ready to go. We've done the dry testing of the system with JMS, and we are just waiting for approval of our plan with DDW to test the sed basin. I think we're going to run it parallel just to make sure that everything works well, and then we'll be able to run it by itself. And there'll be more updates on that once we get there. But we've got a steady pace up in Nunes, and I'm happy to report that. Any questions?
Yeah, I'm sorry to have to ask this question, but I should know better, but I think we need a refreshment. Do we have any wastewater after all the great work we do to treat water that comes out of those plants?
There is wash water that's recycled
Oh, okay.
or through our solids management. So when we do a backwash, that dirty water goes down to the ponds at the bottom of the hill.
Okay.
Not the bottom of the hill, but below the
Yeah.
plant. There's an underground system in there that goes to a lift station, and then that gets recycled at the appropriate rate that the state likes.
Wonderful, because I think the public has asked me that before. So thank you for the
And there's no water leaves the spot and like
Thank-
evaporation.
good job.
Yeah.
You guys, good job. And that has to be public for our customers, so Kathleen maybe can someday put a little blurb in her wonderful newsletters that all that water stays up on the hill and reused. So good job.
Thank you.
No,
I'd love a tour if you've got a break in your schedule. Sure, go up and see the plant, because it's been a little while since I've been up, and it'd be fun to see the.
Yeah, we'll coordinate a visit.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to share.
When
with any
it's- when
other
it's
board members,
convenient.
as long as there's only one more.
Yeah.
Pat.
Yep.
We can do it in twos. So.
Yeah.
Let us know if you guys want to go.
You could also call a special board meeting.
Okay.
well, I think the next point was I hope in the spring of 2024 that we could have a little dedication.
So actually, this might not be too early to say. I also would really like that to invite the public and swimming lessons for the little kids. And
Like a ribbon cutting kind of.
yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
but
Please.
I think we've spent a lot of the local town's money. And I'd love to see an article in the newspaper explaining what it is, and then have a show and tell. And we'll have poster boards that show what the different stations are, so that people can see it. And I, for one, will volunteer to be there and talk to the public and explain what we're doing.
Yeah,
'Cause
welcome.
I think it's really important that people don't get an opportunity to see a treatment plant or understand it. And so I'd like very much, I don't know what the rest of the board
Oh,
feels.
my God, no, that's why I brought it up. And then we could even give a brief history of the Nunes name, because that was my idea many years ago. He was our butcher. But he was on the board forever too.
Do I remember vaguely that we had something up there, didn't we? Some years back.
You came with your.
There was a Dave,
That was
we had a,
Yeah,
or previously.
that was before my time, but I.
That was
heard
a
about it.
water day,
Yeah.
it was some kind of special day.
Yeah,
It was a water day and we had busloads of people come.
Yeah, it was a
That'd be
great
good to have that must have been 7-8 years ago. No,
More.
More,
Wasn't it?
I've been here 8 years and it was before.
okay,
my
so it must be
time.
10.
yeah.
So I think it's time to do it. I like that. It's a great
She
idea.
was about
You
7.
guys, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is that okay,
Lisa
James?
knows the neighbor, maybe
We remember
they could do a barbecue for
I
us.
don't want the staff to panic.
Logistically, it's,
I think it's, we should be very proud of the plant, and
We are.
that
It's a
everybody's
logistic
put a lot of work in, and why not show it off?
I agree.
I agree.
And there's no time pressure, so when the feels, you know, they're ready.
It's a logistical,
We can do that.
Okay.
issue. I mean, it's
don't
it
need to
takes a
think about
good
it.
deal of planning to do that.
I could get the tractor and
Because of the
trailer
way
and
you
take
get
them
up
up
and
on a
back out, you
hayride.
can only have so many people at once. But it's sometimes.
Right to the water treatment plant.
We can do it.
Well, come on, Patrick, it's time for you to chime in on liability.
Well, we did have waivers, when we did the tour.
That's
right.
We signed a waiver.
Yep.
So we'll think we'll coordinate.
You can coordinate and
Yeah.
people had to sign things because they had to be sure they.
We'll get a big
Well, that's-
safety
that's
trailer
right,
where they can
because,
all get in.
Gina, gave a little talk and, you know, wasn't there a video going in there also?
It was all kind of, it was a day with
I forget.
moves down at
Gina
the
probably-
high school.
Yeah, that was really
Some of
cool.
the. jump
Yeah,
customers
good
at the bottom.
Yeah.
Another project for you.
Okay, well, there you go.
Hayrides.
I've got a new
I don't
opportunity,
know about hay rides, we'll figure it out.
Thank you.
but you gotta finish it first before you can.
Okay.
Whoa.
It did.
whoa.
Am I done?
No, he meant
You gotta finish the
Oh,
plan.
man, I was like,
You gotta finish the plan.
You can be seated.
thank you.
We love you.
Thank you.
We love you. All right, so. Okay, looks like our next item, Mary, please.
So this past spring, Aqua led an effort to oppose 3 bills in the legislature that targeted water rights. And the district staff wrote letters of opposition at the request of Aqua. You know, these bills, you know, could have, you know, significantly impacted the district. So Aqua leadership, you know, was pleased to report that 2 of the bills, AB 460 and AB 1337, were pulled in July and will become 2-year bills. So Aqua staff is now working with to try to get amendments to those bills over the next year. But at least we have a little bit more time. The other bill, SB 389, is pending in the Assembly Appropriations Committee. However, Aqua moved to a neutral position given the rewrite. So we're in better shape with that. So we still need to work in the upcoming year, but I think this was a nice win for on these bills.
No, I'm really pleased to see this. I know I personally, called 3 of our state legislators to lobby against this. Because if you particularly, 1337, I mean, I wish the public would take the time to read the language, just how onerous these bills are. I mean, the mean-spiritedness of Wicks to come up with this, it's beyond the pale. I mean, people should read this and really have an understanding of what our legislators are up to and the devastating impact this can have on our customer base. I mean, I wish the public was more aware of this, but this is really a great news that at least we have a reading room now.
What was so egregious about what he wrote?
I mean, issue curtailment orders against water rights holders during any type of water year. I mean, that is, in a drought scenario, maybe curtailment, there probably is a scenario where curtailment might be justified, but in any type of water year? Just arbitrarily curtailing someone's water?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, they modified it so that it simply presents the issue that may exist and then puts it on the table, but has no enforcement action on it. So that's how it was modified, if I'm not mistaken.
Different bill.
Different
bill. Different bill,
Yeah.
but that's exactly what they did.
Is that what they did? Not meant that,
They
not.
softened it.
They softened it and it's not enforcement per se, it's just a statement of something,
Yeah, and
it's much better.
look, where is it?
Maps are.
Oh, no, not our mission statement.
Oh, yeah.
Water districts, we have this 50-year outlook based on, receiving water for the next 50 years, and then suddenly curtailment enters the equation, and then how are you supposed to deliver water to your customers?
Yeah, no, it's.
So it worked out okay, that's. For the time being.
For the
Yeah.
time being.
Still got to keep your eye on
Yes, we have another battle in the
Another battle.
upcoming years, so.
Thank
it.
you.
Okay. One small step.
Okay, and Mary, I think we continue on here.
With Jane.
James, thank you for nice information to all of us here. So,
Is it finished?
yeah, you're getting close.
Be quick.
Yeah.
It's been a long night for everyone.
Oh, I meant the plan.
I think it was very personally. Denison Water Treatment Plant ran most of last month at 400 gallons per minute. As I mentioned, DDW did their sanitary engineering inspection. Sources, Pillar Seals and Denison. We talked about Nunes. The Hawkwind database is configured. Todd's still finalizing some of the work that has to happen at Denison. So I know that the production, the summary, the weekly production summaries have not been happening. So we're down one person at treatment. I talked to Todd about it. He's going to get out a update to you guys with this week's treatment summary and then a summary of the summary and try to get that to you every week. So I apologize for the gap in those production reports. Anyways, we got the mag meter below the Half Moon Bay tanks. It's online, it's on SCADA. I can tell you at any minute of the day what demand is, and it's pretty interesting information. So we're gonna have a totalizer read of what leaves and goes into Half Moon Bay tanks. We've already got one down at Denison. So Mary and I and Kathleen are gonna start looking at how we're looking at our water loss and how we can utilize those numbers. Right now, the treatment guys are thrilled that they can look and say, okay, our production is meeting demand right now. And it's also really neat to see how much it changes. As I was sitting here, I saw it go from 500 to 250 and back up, and
Wow.
and how Denison performs when Nunes is shut down, because Nunes is shut down tomorrow. So it's pretty fascinating and exciting information that we have there. So we appreciate your support in making that happen. We've been doing lots of mowing, Nunes and Alves, and the lot below EG2 is being cleared, getting ready for fire season. Installed a new center vent on the Alves tank before DDW showed up. So that's the best part of that tank now. New hydrants have been installed in 3 locations. We got the 92 work going on. Half Moon Bay tank replacement project. We are waiting for a response from CCWD on the next step, getting towards our NLB or CEQA. And then Stetson, we're reviewing the 90% design of the San Vicente pipeline. And we've got the Denison wells that we're looking at replacing 5, 6, and 7. They're stake surveyed, and I've got the preliminary survey of record and talking to hydrogeologists about the next steps out there. And I think that's going to be a swap and working with Rory on that. So if you have any questions?
You didn't want to share the picture of your new auxiliary hydrant shut off crew?
Did you want to share? Someone hit a hydrant in Princeton. What day was it? Sunday?
Yeah.
Sunday. And Glenn was right there.
My daughter came home and said, "Dad, do you have a gate key? We need to shut off a hydrant."
Did you pay your daughter into that, sir?
She did it.
Oh, my
Do
God.
you have a distribution license?
She actually was working under the supervision of a
Oh,
licensed.
That's wonderful.
distribution operator. But she wore a safety vest.
I saw that. Thanks for your help.
That's a
So
pain.
I told Matt he's gonna have to split his call out for that.
His call out.
It's gonna go 50-50, so he owes me about 75.
You and I need to talk though. He was unclear on the C and the L.
Let's talk later about that.
You know, that's an interesting point because this whole road gang thing in the bays is that they hit a hydrant the other day and my wife asked me, do our hydrants shut off automatically? Because that one was shooting up all morning long there and that car ran over it. So they don't shut off
The
automatically.
majority of them have shut-offs,
Oh, okay.
but they need to shoot a little bit of water up so someone notices.
Yeah, okay.
So it usually engages right away. So there's no water hammer, which is a big saver, but it will send a little fountain of water up so people go, hey, what's that?
Yeah, okay.
And that's what Glenn did. Hey, what's that? We need to stop that.
That's funny.
You know, what's wonderful about all of our families is they've heard our water world and politics growing up in their life, and they're well aware of what's going on around. A normal person's gonna go by and think, oh, it's just a fire hydrant, but oh my God, my dad's in charge of that stuff. I love it.
Yeah, it's a nice tight community.
Yeah, it's good.
Sounds like a great public interest story to put on our website or to put in the newspaper, don't you think so? Local water district director's daughter comes to the rescue
Saves water.
on Sunday, saving water.
It's your call.
I think a story like that's a great picture of her, honor her for the service.
I'm just glad that she didn't break the valve. And I'd be that'd be really awkward.
I think.
Touching it breaks, she bought it.
I think it'd be best to let staff Kathleen work her through some comments on that one.
Well, thanks, Glenn. We appreciate it. Thank you. Seriously.
Yeah.
Or we could send a letter of restraint.
That's right.
Next to highlight, she did have a reflective vest on.
How old
And
is your
then
daughter, about 23, 22?
She's 25.
Just making sure she wasn't under whatever.
Oh, right, under 18, right? Labor laws, yeah.
Jesus. Well, you guys sorted it.
Yeah, just shift on
She
the
rode her bike.
subject here a little bit. Have we been contacted at all to rent out our robot mowing machine? Has any district or any?
No, and I'm glad because I don't want anyone.
No, I know, thank you for that, but I mean, I've often wondered if someone was interested in subcontracting it from us. But I
My friend over in Fort Ord who does, they do controlled burns and unexploded munitions. He's like, that'd be great. Yeah.
yeah,
The Badlands, because
Oh,
they
wow.
have to armor their tractors and they have to put a person on it.
no.
I shared it with him and he's like, we're gonna buy one of those.
Wow.
So when they do controlled burns on Fort Ord, all kinds of things are blowing up.
Wow.
Back 40, they used to dump
Yeah,
everything.
son.
That makes lawn mowing a hazardous job if you're driving over
Well, we
unexploded.
don't want to lose
ordnance.
that.
Yeah, they
Some
call it
over
UXL,
the young-
the acronym for it.
Wow.
Anything else?
Okay.
Well, it's interesting you said that about that piece of equipment like that and some of our equipment, but I attended a FBI conference with regarding stealing of equipment and farm equipment and stuff like that in Modesto a few weeks ago. And now it looks like there's GPS tracking on a lot of little machines, so I don't know if that machine has a little tracking device at all, but
That one I don't think does, but it's a really good idea. Our backhoe, if it leaves the service area,
it's tracked.
headquarters gets a call and then they'll call us and say,
Yeah.
we just tracked your backhoe going down 280.
Wow. No, good job on that. And so
It's a nice feature.
With the traffic on 92, you don't have to worry about that. It's not leaving town.
yeah. Well, the farmer buddy contacted me at that meeting. They stole the Cat Challenger out of Watsonville recently. How in the heck do you steal a Cat Challenger that weighs thousands of pounds, So but I think all of communities are worried about theft and equipment and tools out of your vehicles and we have cameras. That was the other thing the conference stressed on was cameras. And we all have to be aware of that, so.
And just so you know, Director Mueller, if I go outside and I see a truck or a toolbox unlocked.
Yeah.
They get a little cat next. to it.
Good, yeah.
It was pretty loose when I first got here, but I've had things stop before, but that's
Well,
hopefully never gonna happen.
Okay.
thank you for that, James.
You're welcome.
And,
Thank you.
Great presentations there, and
One more to go.
one more to go here, Kathleen, and I love your bear there that got the white rump. The big blue bear.
Yeah, so speaking about outreach, we took advantage of Coastside Magazine's environmental issue
Sorry.
and posted a water conservation.
Good, thank you.
That's cute.
Yeah, my wife and her dad were in it too.
They were.
Can we order reusable water bottles for our water plant show and tell?
Well, we get to-
Sure.
James is gonna work round the clock to finish the plant.
Oh,
And if we had reusable Coastside water bottles that we gave out as swag, we could fill them. Fresh from the plant.
well,
No,
Oh, no, I- yeah.
we gotta get it down after the tanks.
So we'll tell the little
So on the way out.
oh no, the plant looks great, but you can't drink this water.
That's right.
We could have them fill up down the tanks.
There we go.
It's not needing.
I've got a drill. Make a hole in the tank.
You just take out.
We're on the planning committee, Glenn.
We'll donate some flower seeds, and then actually, if you want some ground cover flower seeds, maybe we can come up with some,
I think that'd be great.
yeah, some
Sounds
nice
good.
one.
Thank you.
Think scenic
And this
design.
guy knows how to plan them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we're
Scenic
gonna
design, how we're
put
gonna-
Ken in charge of the pattern.
Landscaping.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this would be a big project. I can see that. We should get a grant for this, for this project. All right. You can get a grant.
Anything else?
close this meeting before we get too out of control.
Kathleen, thank you for all the work you're doing there on all that. And so
Okay,
we've had a busy day with some good tough decisions and I've always said it, and especially for Director Michelson here. Good leaders make tough decisions, buddy. So be prepared for some tough decisions again.
All
So,
right. No
anyway,
problem with tough decisions.
yeah. And there's no requests for future board meetings, it looks like.
We should do one next month.
That's right.
items.
Second Tuesday or?
Yeah, let's do it the second Tuesday.
Good idea.
I think we'll give you.
He suggested.
Okay, we're gonna adjourn this.
Yep, bang the gavel, John.
And so.
Thank you.
Thank you all for this evening and
Little punchy.
Recording stopped.